I have trained almost 6,000 plus students, or maybe more than that. Right. And it's a day to day thing. I just have sessions for the whole day. It's
Hmm.
nothing new facing the camera. But at that time, for those 15 minutes, jitters thing is there. No, if you are able to speak, if you are able to speak fluently, and even if you are able to crack all the vocabulary, and you are good at grammar as well, but if you are unable to deliver it at the right time, at the right place, in the right manner, how is it even going to help? What
How?
was going on my mind? So while you were sharing your Kathak and classical dance journey, I was just imagining you
Hmm.
trying to visualize how beautiful you might be looking in that attire with all those ornaments and all dressed up and decked up. All right. So here I would like to introduce myself for you as well as for your viewers. My name is Vinita. In short, it is Vinnie. And my students, they fondly know me as Dia Ma'am. I am from a very small town of Madhya Pradesh located on the bank of River Narmada. It is Narmadapura. Academically, I'm CA finalist, that is Chartered Accountancy, CS Professional, that is Company Secretary, Masters in Economics. Additionally, I hold certification in public speaking and soft skills. Professionally, I'm a communication and soft skill trainer. It's been 10 years I have been into teaching, and 5+ years into communication training. I have trained more than 5,000 students so far from diverse backgrounds, right from kindergarten till senior citizens, right
Hmm.
from CAs to army people and students, all of it. And in my spare time, I love to create content for my YouTube channel. That's a mandatory thing these days, right? I am a travel enthusiast. I love traveling. I am an art enthusiast. I'm into art. Additionally, I'm into yoga, meditation, dance, and I love spending time in nature. So
Hmm.
that's not a brief introduction of mine. That's a long introduction. But yeah, it has got all of it, all about me.
Hmm. Okay, so let's discuss the things you're not good at. Because I mean, the way you described, I think you're pretty much good at everything.
Maybe jack of all trades, we can say, but
Hmm.
still I need mastery. It's
Yeah.
just I'm trying to experience everything.
No, but I think in today's time, being a jack of all trades is a perfect combination because I mean, if we talk about current job scenario, it'd be difficult for them to get into the job if they don't have these soft skills. So
Agree.
yeah, because I talked to a couple of people on YouTube and they told me like, yeah, like we know coding, we know whatever hard skills are required, but we are not able to get the job because we are not able to properly introduce ourselves. Maybe they sound underconfident, or it can be anything. But that's when you get to know that in today's time, it's equally important to have both the skills, soft skills as well as hard skills. So I mean, I think being jack of all trades in today's time is a good thing. What do you think about that?
I second your thought.
Hmm.
And what I have gone through, what my experience says. So, Niyati, I find top, in fact, leaders, they have
Hmm.
somehow reached those leadership positions, but still they are looking for improving their soft skills on day-to-day basis. So if I
Hmm.
consider freshers or someone new to job, or someone who is at their basic or we can say beginner stage, they
Hmm.
should focus on it, because ultimately it is going to be something that can make you stand out in that competition.
Right.
Right. So hard skills, see, it's a rat race. All of us can learn somehow. You
Hmm.
know very well, there are certifications, there are courses, but when it comes to soft skills, it is something that is developed only by experiencing it, as well
Hmm.
as certifications are there, of course, but experience matters, and polishing yourself, and intention to polish yourself.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's not going to happen, I think.
Hmm. For sure. So
So
you must be getting a lot of students who want to perfect their soft skills. So how do you shape them? Because I know people are can be very underconfident, can also lack basic English skills actually. You require a combination of both, having a command over English as well as then presenting yourself, these two skill sets. So how do you help them out? And what are the most common doubts that people have that you've come across in this field?
oh, wonderful. So, Niyati, yeah, I do get students, in fact, on day-to-day basis, I would say.
Hmm.
So, what they face is, see, number one is confidence,
Hmm.
right? Even this morning, I was having conversation with one of my students, and she was mentioning that, ma'am, I was at my daughter's PTM, and somehow I found one person speaking in English really well, although I could easily figure out her grammatical errors, but she was speaking with a lot of confidence. So, what I told her, Niyati, that you are a wonderful, you have got great command over English. The only thing you are lacking is confidence. And if you will just remind yourself that I am a good speaker, you will definitely outperform that lady, the one you are mentioning already. So, we were having this discussion today, and I want to tell you one thing. One thing that plays a vital role, I believe, is confidence.
Hmm.
Right? Why? Because, see, one thing is there, no, if you are able to speak, if you are able to speak fluently, and even if you are able to crack all the vocabulary and you are good at grammar as well, but if you are unable to deliver it at the right time, at the right place, in the right manner, how is it even going to help? How will it
Hmm.
help? Right? It will only be restricted to your brain, or maybe the notes you might have made for learning all of it. So
Yeah.
that delivery, confidence, and you should have that assurance, you should have that
Hmm.
I can say, you should have that feeling that yeah, I can do it. That is
Hmm.
the most important thing. So that
Yeah.
one thing I is one thing that I tell my learners every day, because even today I told my learners, last evening I read one thing in one of public speaking books.
Hmm.
So it was written, anyone can be a public speaker, or we can say good at whatever they desire to be. The
Hmm.
only thing required is resolution to do it, a
Hmm.
firm resolution to do it. So, like we have resolutions every new year, right?
Yeah.
So, whenever you start something new or whenever you plan to do something, you should take that resolution that, okay, if I am starting with my English journey, with my public speaking journey, or even if I'm joining gym for weight loss purpose or maybe a dance class,
Hmm.
I will do it at my best, and I'll do it till the moment I'm not going to achieve it. That
Hmm.
means you have to persistently do it.
Hmm.
So the resolution is important. I
Hmm.
hope I was able to give your answer.
Yeah, perfectly. Because I mean, if if we take my case, I was also like super shy. I didn't know whether I could even be able to talk on YouTube like this. So like my
Hmm.
mom told me like, why don't you start a YouTube channel? Why don't you start interacting with people over here? And I was like, there is no way I'm going to be doing that because I mean, it was not about English, but it was about my confidence. So,
Hmm.
I mean, as I started gradually, I got to know that I am liking this. Like, I love this. I love doing this. And so that's when I got to know that when the human being realizes their potential, they can cross all these boundaries that they have set for themselves. And it's amazing when you get to realize your potential. So that's amazing. So,
Even I
but for
would
your
like to add
journey,
something
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so sorry. So as you mentioned, no, like I was a little bit reluctant to start with it, and you were
Mm.
also perplexed whether you will be able
Yeah.
to do it or not. Right.
Mm.
So this is again what I read, that this little bit of nervousness is very important. If we
Hmm.
are willing to do something, Niyati, in that case, that initial nervousness or anxiety, what we say, is important. You
Hmm.
know, it will be there for some time,
Yeah.
and after that, it starts fading away. And there will be a point of time like today, right? Although
Hmm.
you were facing some technical glitch, and of course it distracts us, it lowers our energy if something like that happens, but still you are shining right in front of me having this session. So now you are able to deal with those situations with time.
Hmm.
Initial phase is always going to be little bit full of nervousness, and then I think gradually it fades away, and that is the best part of any journey.
Hmm. Yeah,
So that
that is right. No, because
hmm,
facing nervousness means that you are actually stepping out of your comfort zone. That's
comfort
what it
zone.
shows. And
Yes.
when we stay in our comfort zone, we are going to be pretty chill. We are not going to get any sort of jitters at all. But if that's happening, for example, if I volunteer to go on stage and let's say I want to be the anchor for the show, I'm going to feel the jitters, and that's completely okay because that makes you a human being. And that means that you're stepping out of the comfort zone. That's exactly when you start shaping yourself. So that's perfect. Yeah. Um,
Agree.
Actually,
So
just to give you an example, for I mean, we also have these Navratri function in our colony. So like it's always my mom somehow. She always encourages me to do these things. Otherwise,
wow.
I wouldn't. Yeah. So she told me like, why don't you, like volunteer to be the anchor this time? And I was like, there is no way. Handling the show from beginning to end for 2 hours. I wouldn't be able to do that. How would I speak? What if I forget something? What if I start stuttering? And she was like, there's always a first time for everything. Like you wouldn't realize that you're good at it until and unless you try. So I was like, I'll try, but I cannot guarantee anything. I don't know. But then I did it, and I was so happy that I did it. Like I told my mom so many times, like, thank you so much. And she was like, you know what? I always knew your potential, but you didn't know that. So I just had to push you through this.
Push
So
you. Hmm.
yeah, exactly one of the
Wow.
reasons why, like, when I did the anchoring thing, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. Right after that, I was like, maybe I can do this, like it's not that bad. So yeah, I cannot tell you, like, the first 15 minutes on stage, I was feeling super nervous. But then I just got a grip of it and I got to know how to do things. So now it's like every year I always volunteer, like, I want to do this. So it makes me so happy and it makes me so confident. So yeah.
Amazing. And Niyati, as you mentioned your journey, no? So I would like to
Mm,
give you one recent example, something that happened just recently.
mm,
So I was in one training, all right, and I was the youngest one. So when I saw, and it was our first day, and our trainer told us,
mm,
asked us for the introduction part. So you might have seen that I introduced very comfortably in front of you, and I do every day. Right. It is a regular thing.
yeah.
Okay, nothing new. So what happened when at least 15 members completed, you won't believe, for those 15 minutes I was jittery. It is hard
Mm,
to believe. Why? Because I have trained almost 6,000 plus students, or maybe more than that. Right. And it's a day to day thing. I just have sessions for the whole day. It's
mm,
nothing new facing the camera. But at that time, for those 15 minutes, jitters. And then I realized, why is it happening? Maybe because all of them are seniors, or maybe all of
mm,
them are pretty much uh, 3 times more experienced than me. Then you won't believe, once I started, okay, then the entire team used to call me a chatterbox. Like if they didn't
mm,
hear me for one day, they won't finish up that session no matter how late it used to get. So it is all about getting that kickstart,
mm,
right? once you started, no, after that you can just go with the flow, or maybe sail through it somehow, like that.
Hmm.
And I must
Yeah.
appreciate one thing, as you mentioned, your mom is there, right?
Hmm.
You are really fortunate to have someone who is there to push you and bring out that potential,
Hmm.
right? Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
not in everyone's case.
Yeah. No, that 100% I agree with that. I am super grateful for the things that my mom makes me do. Uh, I mean, even if we take my childhood's example, for example, like when I was like 6 years old, she enrolled me in a dancing class, and at that time I wasn't even really liking it. But as I grew older, I got to know that she was basically like pushing me through, uh, making me step out of my comfort zone to help me become good at certain things. And so, like, I am able to perform Kathak because so for 2 years. So, like, whenever there is some kind of a classical dance competition or something, I would participate, and that's only because at that time she enrolled me in. Now those skills are coming in handy because of that. So you are definitely right. I mean, she helped me become the person that I am today. And you're right, it doesn't happen with everybody. Like a lot of people have to do things for themselves. Like, for example, they have to decide for themselves, like, I want to be good at it. I need to do this. And, they need to basically push themselves through it. So I wanted to ask about your English journey. I mean, I know
Oh,
that's a question that you probably get a lot, but if in brief,
yes.
you could just in a nutshell,
Okay.
you could tell.
I'll be sharing that, but before that, what was going on my mind? So while you were sharing your Kathak and classical dance journey, I was just imagining you,
Hmm.
trying to visualize how beautiful you might be looking in that attire with all those ornaments and all dressed up and decked up. So
Hmm.
I was just trying to imagine you in that. Wonderful. So
Well,
yes.
I would have shared the pictures, but I lost the CD in which I had my performance, and I tried to find it, I just couldn't find it. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yes, because see, these are the most beautiful, or we can say cherishable memories of our life.
Hmm.
So we should try to safeguard it and keep them safe.
Yeah,
That is
for
what
sure.
I think,
Hmm.
right? Okay. So Niyati, coming back to your question, if I talk about my English journey, to be very honest and transparent, my English journey is nothing but filled with practice, enthusiasm, and passion to do it. As I
Hmm.
mentioned, my background is entirely different. That is, I am from finance background, chartered accountancy, company secretary, and economics. And what I am doing is entirely different, right? So how was it possible? Only because of my passion. So the books and the notes you can see this side, they are
Hmm.
all my current notes, as well as something that I have been preparing right from the time I was in my early school days.
Hmm.
So it is still there with me. And at that time, what I used to do, I was fond of vocabulary. Though I don't want to use much of it, like I don't want to sound like someone who is not easy to comprehend or not easy to understand. So I want to make my English really simple, but I'm just trying to share my passion. So it
Hmm.
started back then. Although I was an English medium girl, it's not like I was from Hindi medium and then I started learning, nothing like that. It was an English medium school, but of course, what made me stand out among all the students studying in in that school was my passion, my effort, and my curiosity to learn this language. At that time, there was nothing called AI or YouTube was there, but it was not much
Hmm.
accessible. Or we can say all the resources, these online classes or anything, nothing was there. Not even
Hmm.
offline classes, since mine is a very small town, Niyati. Nothing.
Hmm.
I got I used to order that newspaper, the Hindustan Times, and it was not even available in my town, to be honest. So I used to ask that newspaper vendor that I needed, and they used to tell me, "Ma'am, it's not possible. We have to get it right from Delhi, and it will reach us 2 days later. Then what are you going to do with that newspaper? It will be of no use.
Hmm.
Will you read that news? So will you be able to read that news?" I said, yeah, it doesn't matter what the news is, how old it is. I just need to read it. I like reading it. So at that time, I remember we used to get Hindustan Times uh, just once a week. Still, it is
Hmm.
not available. Just once a week. So I used to get that newspaper and start reading it like anything and
Hmm.
collect a lot of good things out of it. That is one thing. Other thing is, I used to read books. Like, I was fond of reading novels. So that was one thing. And writing also I used to do a lot. So more or less I was balancing all the aspects, like speaking. And by speaking, Niyati, I was made the speaker of my school. So there used to be one candidate who used to come to stage and announce everything right in assembly. So
Hmm.
I was made that. Why? Because I used to crazily work on this language just out of passion. See, I didn't have any goal that I
Hmm.
want to be an English trainer or I want to go for something called public speaking. Nothing. It was just a passion, a love for this language, and it kept improving. But let me tell you one thing. When I was in my chartered accountancy phase, my fluency reduced or shattered, exhausted like anything.
Hmm.
Because I was not speaking, I was not reading anything, I was not having time to do anything, just studying.
Hmm.
And there was a time when I almost lost it, right? And after that, again, it happened that I got an opportunity to be a trainer. And then this journey of English started again. In fact, I can say restarted, right? So my journey has been like this, like a roller coaster. Reached
Hmm.
at the top, then again bottom, then again I am now just climbing that ladder of
Hmm.
improving myself day by day, day by day. So
Hmm.
this has been my journey, and it's constant practice, Niyati. Constant. I would like to name it as a constant practice. Nothing
Hmm.
less than that.
Yeah,
So
I
that's my
think
journey.
it's definitely your sheer determination and consistency. I mean, obviously, we
Hmm.
as English students have a little bit of upper hand when it comes to if you want to start English journey. However, I would still say that like for my case also, although I was studying in English medium, I was writing my papers in English. I was not really interacting with my friends in English language. I mean,
Hmm.
yes, for our school, it was mandatory that our English teachers teach us in English. So that
Hmm.
definitely helped a lot because we were listening to her all the time from like,
Hmm.
I don't know, like, I still remember in uh, younger classes, they were still teaching us in Hindi, but then they expected us to start learning English. So I think from like third grade onwards, we were just interacting with her in English. However, apart from that, there was a unspoken rule that you have to talk to each other in English language, but we wouldn't. Like as kids, even if somebody would try, people would think you're trying to be over smart, you're trying to sound super cool because there's no need for us to be talking to each other in English. And that's the reason why we never really interacted in English language. That's why I didn't even know if I could speak in English or not. Although I was pretty good at writing essays in English, but I wasn't sure whether I could speak in English or not. So that is something that I got to know in my college because people were from South as well. People were from Assam side as well. So like for them, we had to set a common language that we all knew, which was English. And that's when I got to know, okay, I can. And that's when I basically polished my skills. subconsciously because I wasn't really working on it. But so what I can say is that you are 100% right. We have to put in the efforts if we want to master our fluency, because um, even going to an English medium school does not guarantee that you would be amazing at this language, amazing at spoken English. Because I mean, that's what I thought, that we were all, if we are going to English medium school, we would all be good at English language. However, when I talked to some of my fellow classmates, I got to know that they are stuttering a little bit, they are not confident, they're also making grammatical mistakes. And that's when I got to know, okay, it's my effort, it's my passion that has gotten me through this. Just like you, I was also really passionate about it. I used to read English novels, I used to watch Hollywood movies. So basically all my entertainment sources were replaced from Hindi to English, just because I was really passionate about it. Because imagine knowing a language apart from your mother tongue. How cool is that? So that's what I used to think. That's,
Wow.
yeah. So that's definitely, that's why I understand, like when you said you're from English medium school, however, you put in the efforts. So I 100% resonate with you, how your journey must have been. So yeah,
Okay. Wow. So we could relate at this point. I'm happy to hear that.
yeah.
Love.
But however, reading English newspapers, I mean, I found it quite difficult initially. I had to sit down with the dictionary. Was that the case for you as well?
Course, of course. And what I used to do, so I used to write all of it, like jot
Hmm.
down whatever you find interesting, difficult, or something new. Just jot it down, and then once it is done, like once you're done
Hmm.
reading, after that, I used to just find meanings and then everything. And still,
Hmm.
when I open my notebook, so I see there are some words that are just written without
Hmm.
meaning. I don't know why is it incomplete till date. But
Hmm.
you won't believe me, Ati, when I opened that notebook, it was made back in the year 2006.
Hmm.
2006. We are just going to enter 2026 next year, 20
Yeah.
years back. So 20 years ago, I made that one, and you won't believe the kind of words I have written in that, in dilemma, in topsy turvy, in a fix, what I'm
Hmm.
learning these days. It's all written in that.
Hmm.
Can you imagine? But yeah, what I found is some of them are just written without meaning. It was left just like that, but I wrote all of those words. But I remember whatever words I used to write, I used to write the meaning right in front of it. In fact, Hindi meaning.
Hmm.
So this was the practice, and it means today when I just look back and think about it, I never knew this language is going to help me this way. That was just a passion, but today I am an English trainer. Really, I never thought about it, I never
Yeah.
worked in that way. It was
Hmm.
just a passion. And see, they say, Niyati, there is one saying: whatever you do, don't think that how is it going to help me, right? It is going to help you in some way or the other for sure. And that's how English is helping me these days.
Hmm.
So it has never gone into vain, or I'm really enjoying this fulfilling journey of mine, really.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would like to share one thing that can really be helpful for you as well as for everyone watching this. So
Hmm.
I basically learned it from my teacher. I used to
Hmm.
go for a calligraphy class. As I mentioned, like I am into art, so I do everything. Okay. So I used to go there even after getting married, right?
Hmm.
So she used to teach a lot of different styles of calligraphy. Okay. And I was really fascinated with her art. So one day, what she told me, she shared one thing with me. I said, "Ma'am, I love your art." So she told me, "Vinny, you know what? When I was during my school days, when I used to learn all these things, so I
Hmm.
used to find it really boring. just because I didn't have any other option, I used to learn all this. But my father used to tell me one thing, that you remember one thing, this is my word to you. Whatever you are learning today, it is going to help you sometime in future. It's my word to you. And it's
Mm.
never going to go in vain or get wasted. And today, I can't tell you, Niyati, she is really having a big, we can say, institute, or maybe we can say, yeah, institute, you can consider. It's a whole junction where she is teaching students all across the world handwriting. She's teaching.
Mm.
And see, her skill of this good handwriting and learning it is not getting wasted.
Yeah.
She's monetizing it, she's utilizing it, even though she was my mathematic teacher in my school.
Mm.
So she stopped that thing and she excelled in something that was not even expected. Like, she never knew she's going to be the best handwriting tutor or teacher.
Mm.
So we never know, like that.
Yeah. For me also, I can say that I never knew that English language could help me start a YouTube channel and get it monetized. Because that's crazy. Like, what do you mean? If I'm listening to English songs right now, I'm watching English movies right now, that's gonna help me get monetized later on. If somebody told this to me like 5 years back, I wouldn't believe them. So, but you are 100% right. Any skill that you learn, somehow it always comes in handy. It's always useful somehow, and people are getting monetized because of their skills. So yeah, that's amazing. It was amazing connecting with you. It was so lovely to have you here, and you have a beautiful, beautiful voice. So I'm just like out of curiosity, are you like good at singing? Because you have a really melodious voice.
Okay. Yeah, I sing. I can sing. I used to sing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I sing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. So,
Hmm.
okay. So,
I sing good bhajans.
oh, that's amazing. See, that's why
Yeah.
I told you, like, let's discuss the things that you're not good at because you're basically good at everything.
So the next session is going to be on this topic, the things I'm not
Yeah.
good at and I can improve. Right. So
Surprisingly, there would be none. So, yeah.
many, many things, many things. So there is always a scope, Niyati.
Hmm. Okay.
Right.
So, I'm going to close the session now. Thank you so much for joining. It was so lovely connecting with you, and I can't wait to have another session with you for your channel. And have a great day ahead.
Wow, Niyati, first of all, thank you so much for inviting. It's, of course, my pleasure getting in touch with you, getting to know about you. And I would love to know many, many things about you whenever I'll get this opportunity to host you really very soon. And I wish you all the best for this video. May
Thank you
this
so
video
much.
be helpful for you and your viewers as well.